So today I'm taking a group of cows and sending them off to a couple-month holiday. We got them sorted from this main herd. So after they get milk from the robot, they'll be sorted into this treatment area, and then I'll be trimming their feet and moving them over to the dry cows. We can do better, and I'm gonna make it happen. So all four of our robots exit through a central return lane, and it's through this central return lane that we have this sort gate right here where they can either go to the main herd or, like this cow, be sorted out to the treatment area. And it's in this treatment area that we have our hoof trim stall, and all the cows that I got going on our little holiday will be trimmed first so that they'll have an ideally shaped foot for when they have their next calf and start their next lactation, which is a pretty stressful period in their life. So the holiday that I'm referring to is the dry period, which basically means they will no longer have access to the robots and they'll no longer be producing milk, which is why it's the least physically demanding period of their adult life. So not surprisingly, this cow is not too sure about entering the hoof trim stall, so I find the best way to get them to move is by pushing them. We have a pretty high-tech hoof trim stall, which makes trimming feet much less difficult than what it was in the past. It's all controlled by hydraulics. We have straps here to keep the cow in place, and then the entire hoof trim stall raises up so that we don't have to bend over so far when we're trimming their feet. So here she is, all secured and ready to go. Our cows are pretty used to being handled on a daily basis, so she doesn't really get too worked up. Safety glasses. And earbuds. Ready to go. Safety first. So I lower down this rope here, which has a hook on the end, and then I hook that onto itself so that I can just lift up the leg. And then when that leg is up there and secure, then I can move this table over to get it nice and stable, and then we're ready to start trimming. So I use an actual grinder to trim their feet, and then I have a blade on there specifically designed for trimming feet, which makes the job so much easier because when I first started I just used knives and oversized clippers to trim the feet. So what I tried to do is hollow out the inside of this hoof here so that most of the weight is carried on the outside of her hoof. And if you look, there's a line here, and that's the separation between the softer hoof on the inside and the good hard hoof on the outside. And it's this outside hoof where if she walks on it that she'll be able to do so comfortably. But if it gets all overgrown and this softer hoof, which actually grows faster too, fills in, she'll start to put most of her weight on the inside here, which can cause pressure points and sole ulcers. And that leads to a lot of pain and suffering. So now that this foot's finished, I can lower it down and let it go. Then I just gotta do the same thing with all her other feet. When I'm finished trimming her feet, I then go and put a silicone plug in all four of her teats. I start by cleaning off each teat with an alcohol swab, paying extra attention on the teat ends because I don't want to introduce bacteria into her udder while I'm doing this. Then I insert the silicone which is inside the syringe, which plugs the teat end until she has her next calf. And then I go and dip each teat with a disinfectant And the last thing I do before I let her go is I trim the hair on her tail. The tail hair can grow to be pretty long, almost dragging on the floor, and we like to keep it shorter just so that the cows stay a little cleaner. And also, the long hair can confuse the robots when they're looking for the teats to hang under. So now that I've finished all that, I can lower the hootering stall back down, drop the straps, and then let her out to the dry cow pack. So this is where she'll be for the next 2 months. During this time, they break down and rebuild the tissue in their udders, and that's a pretty important process. If you miss it and you keep milking them right up to the next calf, there's much less milk production during the next lactation. The cows make quite a mess while we're trimming the feet. They poop and pee everywhere, and there's hoop clippings, so we wash everything down just to keep things clean and tidy. So this past week we also took off the last of our crops, which was our grain corn. So this is a piece of equipment that we use to blow the corn up the silo. All the trucks came and brought the corn. There's still some on the ground here. We'll have to clean that up. And then we had this auger down on the ground over here. And the trucks come on and dump the corn in the auger, which brings it in here. And there's a processor in here, a big windmill that smashes it and spins really fast and smashes the corn to pieces, which then a spinning motion shoots it up the silo. Oop. Oh, yeah. All right, I just climbed up the silo. I'm not sure how this audio is going to turn out with the echo. But now we have to go and shovel all this corn nice and flat. Otherwise, we won't be able to unload it. That's the silo unloader up there. And it's an auger that you can see, and it spins around in a circle. So if this pile of corn is on a mad angle, then it can't spin around. It only gets corn from here, and it'll be completely open over there. So you gotta make it nice and flat. And then that unloader can spin around and start unloading it, so we can feed our cows with the corn. But yeah, it's ground up into a nice powder, so it's easier to digest for the cows. That's the plan. Be doing this for the next hour or two, just shoveling. And that's the door I came in. 2 doors down. And then we have to bring this cable up to the top. That's the power cord. And it starts off not too bad, but once you get to the top, it's pretty darn heavy. I just looped the chain around my waist so that I could keep my hands free while I'm climbing the ladder. And we got the cable hooked onto this step here from the doors. And my dad is slowly but surely lowering the silo unloader. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. So that's it for now. I'm gonna go inside and get some lunch, get cleaned up,